and welcome to Parallax, where we look at life from how we work. Joining us today is Dorothy Terry. Dorothy is an academic librarian at Morgan State University. Dorothy, thanks for coming on the show.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Could you talk a little bit about what a typical day looks like in the stacks?
A typical day in the stacks. Well, I don't quite peruse the stacks, and I'm not quite as involved with the stacks, but my typical day, I come in and I do reference for the first 4 hours or so. So that's involving me usually behind a computer, monitoring our chat and our tags and whatever other kind of reference we get, telephone, in person. And then what do I do after that? I go to my office and I'm working on digital things, so maintaining the website, answering any other questions, working with other departments in the school, whoever I'm working with at the time, or I'm teaching. So those are my everyday, normal day things. But occasionally I will be out in the stacks organizing books, shelf reading, and making sure things are in order so that the students can find what they need and doing that kind of stuff.
So what are you teaching? Are you teaching library science to students?
No. More like properly evaluating resources, finding the resources that we have in the library, because we get a lot of, oh, you don't have this, or I think you have this, but I don't know how to find it. So sometimes we'll get a call or email from a professor wanting us to go in and do research and just, hammering out how the students can find the resources, because they always Google and they sometimes try to cite Wikipedia, and we know that's a big no-no. So teaching them how to do that properly.
How much of it is digital, and how much of it are you directing students to the stacks to go pull out a physical book and open it up and look information up?
At Morgan, a majority of ours are digital. And it's a problem because we have some professors who have been around for years, and they're still used to telling their students to go find the print. So they tell them not to use online things, don't use websites, they basically say don't use online. But the problem with that is that our databases are online, our journals are online, our articles are online. So the students come to us like, oh, I can't have anything online. And we're like, well, what does that really mean? What did your professor really say? So trying to help them find that balance and the accuracy of it all. But majority of it is teaching them how, and even teaching the professors, because a lot of them don't know or are not familiar with how to access it at Morgan. So teaching them that, but very rarely am I sending them to periodicals. More often than not, I'm sending them to the Stacks collection to find the actual books and reference material.
Now, when did you first decide you wanted to become a librarian?
The $1 million question. So personally, I fell into it. I didn't know I was going to end up a librarian. And even to this day, I'm kind of like, everything I do can revolve around this, but I don't know how much I want to stay into it, how deep I want to go, if I want to become a director or, stay doing what I'm doing now and be public services. But I am a Gates Millennium Scholar, and meaning that Bill and Melinda Gates pay for me to go to school and pay for me to go for 10 years of education. And when you hit your master's degree, they want to increase diversity in a lot of fields, or a certain amount of fields. And one of those fields happened to be library and information studies. And when I was in undergrad, and I went to undergrad in Hawaii, I started meeting people there who were telling me about library science, and decided, maybe it's a way to combine what I've been doing so far with something new, because I'm always trying to find something new to do. So I went and applied to Wisconsin, got in, and fell in love because I was doing anthropology before. And at Wisconsin, they have something called Tribal Libraries, Archives, and Museums Group, where we work with tribal communities in Wisconsin. There's 13 or so, 13 federally recognized ones in Wisconsin. And it tied in everything I had already been doing with culture and then with library science. So once I found out I could do that, I was staying for life. So yeah, I know a lot of people come into the field, they have parents and family members who've already been in it, but that wasn't the case with me.
Dorothy, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you coming out, and you can find out more information about Morgan's library program at morgan.edu/library. Until next time, keep it between the white line and the ditches.